Do your research, don't use the BBC and places like that. 600% increase in thrombosis. Exclusively in Jabber seconds. Cancel due to COVID. Ah. Research. BBC and places like that. 600% increase in thrombosis. Exclusively in Jabber seconds. Cancel due to COVID.
Give me my vaccine, clot my veins. Give me my vaccine or I'm in chains. Give me my vaccine, I'll play my part. Give me my vaccine and play my heart. AstraZeneca and Pfizer, what you stuck in me, I'm no wiser. Oxford and Moderna too. If I get sick then I can't sue. Give me my vaccine, I'll stand in line. Experiment on me like Frankenstein. Give me my vaccine, roll up my sleeve. Protect me from something I don't believe. AstraZeneca and Pfizer, what you stuck in me, I'm no wiser. Oxford and Moderna too. If I get sick then I can't sue. Stab me, jab me straight away. Please modify my DNA so I can fly and I can play, and then I can be on my way. Give me my vaccine. Give me my vaccine. Give me my vaccine. Clot my veins. Give me my vaccine or I'm in chains. Give me my vaccine, I'll play my part. Give me my vaccine and play my heart.
I'm not going to take that in my body because it turns a bunch of blue.
Give me my vaccine, I'll take all three, even though there is no guarantee. Give me my vaccine so I don't die. Give me my vaccine and tell no lie. AstraZeneca and Pfizer, what you stuck in me, I'm no wiser. Oxford and Moderna too. If I get sick then I can't sue. Give me my vaccine, half that vial. Let me take part in your new drug trial. Give me my vaccine, I'll serve the state. Give me my vaccine and seal my fate. AstraZeneca and Pfizer, what you stuck in me, I'm no wiser. Oxford and Moderna too. If I get sick then I can't sue now. Give me my vaccine, clot my veins. Give me my vaccine or I'm in chains. Give me my vaccine, I'll play my part. Give me my vaccine and play my heart.
It's hard enough being a funeral director anyway, but when you're doing the funerals of people that have been unlawfully killed, it's fucking soul destroying.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that, lad. Oh, what have you done that for, lad?
Oh, I shouldn't have said that, lad.
You shouldn't have done that, lad. Oh.
All right, okay, yeah. What the fucking hell? Luke, good evening, everybody. It wouldn't be a live stream of mine if it wasn't full of fuck ups. So good evening. Yeah, new room. I've had to jiggle the furniture about. It looks like I'm inside a giant turd. It could be like a Roald Dahl book, James and the Giant Turd. Bear with me. There's actually people to fuck. I can't believe it. There's actually people to interact with tonight, which is bizarre. So let's see who's in. Tracy Nicklin, good evening. Salesy, good evening. Sean C, member of the channel. Members of the channel are always treated with such reverence. HJL Gamers, new name. Andrea from TikTok, welcome Andrea. Martin Reddin, more of Martin Reddin later. He's keeping his clothes on, but I think I've got fucking heartburn. I've just been eating jelly babies and chocolate, and I've got heartburn. So you know, bear with me. Devon Rocket, new member to the channel, new subscriber. Martin and Tracy. Sean, see, I bumped into Janie. All right, she said that she messaged me that she'd bumped into somebody from the live stream. Nice one, Sean. How did you get on? She messaged me that someone had stopped her to chat to. Have I missed anything? Good evening, it's Reddin. Reddin's come out. Yeah, wish I stopped for a chat, but she was walking with intent. Told her I'd seen her. Well, yeah. Well, she's contacted me regarding it, mate. So you made your mark. Terry Vickers, the man who doesn't wear knickers. That doesn't make any fucking sense, really. Good evening, Terry Vickers. The real honest truth, Mr. Bobby. Good evening. Yeah, hit the likes if you want to. Do what you want. I'll give over bothering. Yeah. So appreciate that, Bobby. Yeah. The last weekend I went to see Martin Reddin. There's lots of in the members. You know what? To be honest with you, I've neglected the members of this channel for so long, and you've got no additional content. Now the members of this channel, I'm going to start looking after you. You've got loads of content. It's only Martin Reddin. It's me and it's me in St Leonard's with Martin. I had a good time. There was times Martin burned my fucking head out. He doesn't shut up. So it was like that sometimes, and I was like, for fuck's sake, Martin, will you just be quiet? And well, yeah, we had a good time. And the best, it's still dingy in here, isn't it? Oh, that's slightly better. Had the best fish and chips ever in St Leonard's. Met loads of interesting people. Was in a book shop talking about acid with these random mad people. St Leonard's. I've actually got Martin. I've introduced Martin to people via me. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up now. Martin says, become a member of the channel. It's up to them. There's lots of good content for members. If you're a fan of Martin Reddin, perhaps being a member is the way forward for you. If not, I don't know what else to do. But I have to. You see, some of you might be thinking, why is he making it members only? And because I have to make some money out of this channel. I've had this channel 18 years. So if it doesn't start making any money, there's no point doing it. So yeah. Just Bob, member of the channel. Good evening, sir. Join the members page. Could I just ask any of the members of the channel, the glorious members, are you enjoying the Martin Reddin content? I'm too high. Let me sort my head out. That's better. I've not watched. I'm not stopping long, by the way. I've had to move up here. I bought a big piece of furniture. a big massive chair. So I've had to move my whole computer setup upstairs. I've not watched the videos with Martin yet. I'm saving them. You two have boss chemistry. Nice one, Sean. Yeah, I've got a few little bits and pieces to upload with him. Some random vignettes. But yeah, Martin, are you going to come on and talk to people in a bit?
To me like I'm a knobhead when it's you what's an internet fucking wanker.
Mr. Sean Ryder. It wouldn't be an evening without the buttons. It wouldn't be an evening without the buttons. But I've not got much lined up. Martin said put some of the free content on this live stream. I thought no, fuck them. You know, if you want to see the free content, you just stick your money in your pocket. If I'm not worth $2.99 a month of your money, well, fuck you, basically. Nice to put a face to Martin and Tracy, says Bob. And what a face Martin has, to be honest with you. He's got a right fat now. Martin's very fat now. The only reason I went down to see him is to make me look slim, because I'm very fat. Martin's gone fat, so I actually looked a bit skinny at the side of him. We had a mad time. We went into some old. We went into an old church, and the warden of the church was like anti-vax, and he was anti-New World Order. It was mad, but it was very secretive. I'd love to have filmed him, but he said, "Look, all the congregation are old, and they kind of watch the BBC." So they believe the narratives that are put out there. But he was like fucking on it with the anti-vax, and he was on it with all that kind of shit. So shout out to you, sir. Surely, hello, it's Martin. Hello, it's Martin. Yeah. Welcome everybody. Welcome new members. Welcome Andrea from TikTok. Welcome Devon. Devon's been on before. But how are we all? Are we all well? Have I missed anybody? I could have. No, I've not missed anybody. 33 people watching this shit, which is kind of a Masonic number. It's quite scary, really. You've got a Masonic number of 33 people watching this shit. Yeah, Martin actually goes near. Anybody, I have to do some explaining. This channel has something I can't even explain. I've been live on TikTok all day. My mind's gone. We used to have a community on this channel. Whether we'll get it back or not, I don't know. Martin Reddin was a key member of the community over the live stream when everybody went mad during lockdown on live streams, kicking off, and there's all kinds of mad shit that went on this channel. Loads of friendships were made, friendships were lost, all online. Kind of thing. Reddin is one of the stalwart members. It's the Peckham Poet. Everybody, follow Tom. It's the Peckham Poet. Sorry I didn't do your gig, Tom. What else is happening? Salesy. Oh, it's John Bengal. John Bengal. It's big John Bengal from his shed, mate. Do you want to go urbexing? You can. Are you going to come urbexing with me? Don't come here, but you stay out of my old buildings on my manor. I'm the urbexer around here, mates. All right? You cunts. Yeah, the sales, he says, did you ever get that COVID? Why am I holding my chest? My dear. Did you ever get that COVID shite, Jim? Never. Yeah, I kind of had something. I had some weird flu. You know, was there a COVID? Was there not? Did they knock something up in a lab? Probably. I don't know. It was all iffy. I'm on the side of it. I'm on the side of everything being iffy. Do you know one of the reasons I've cancelled comedy gigs recently? This is true, Tom. Right, this is the truth why I've cancelled comedy gigs recently, being completely honest. I've put that much weight on, and my comedy suit doesn't fit me. So I've gone fat again. I'm in one of my periods where I go fat. I go slim, slimmer, and then I just binge out and go fat. And I'm in one of my fat phases, and that's the reason, Tom, that I cancelled your gig. It's the reason I cancelled Dennis's gig, because I just feel, honestly, it's not. I just feel like a fat fucker. So that's the reason I cancelled the gigs. I'm sorry about that. I feel like a cunt. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot, by the way. I've been going to the church at Walgate past month. It's really nice. Never been religious. I'm a straight atheist most of my life. It's nice going to church. There's definitely a spiritual vibe in a church, the energy, you know. And if you watch the videos on the live stream and the members channel, we talk about stuff. Anyway, I'm not trying to sell the members channel to you. Join or fucking don't. Was that? It's kids outside. I thought I was going mad then. I could hear voices. I thought, what the fuck's that noise? It's kids outside. I think Martin is much bigger in real life than the man in the cupboard. That's one thing that I noticed about him, Bob, how big he was. And he probably, because he's a bit mental, he probably could win a fight. You know, I thought, well, you know what, he probably, but the times I've wound him up over WhatsApp, I thought, you know what, he would probably, he's threatened me a few times saying, if you live next door to me, you won't be giving me a mouth. And I think he's got a point, you know. Perhaps I wouldn't, because I'm just a shithouse. Hi everyone, love your walls, Jimmy. Thank you, Leash Me. I painted them myself. I didn't do a bad job, to be fair. Sorry, I've lost 3 members. Thank you, Tom, for being understanding, by the way, about that. I can laugh at a fat man, to be fair, says Delirious Collybone. Is that a new name? Is that someone's real name? He's Irish. Drink some milk. Yeah, that I need to do that, Andrea. I was taking bicarbonate of soda, or the organic stuff with the aluminium in it for indigestion, and it cured the indigestion. It sent my fucking blood pressure through the roof. I thought my head was going to fucking pop off. Yeah. Thank you for the advice, Andrea. It's calming, Tom. It's calming, Tom. Tell Julius I'm sure we saw his relative. Let's not grasp people's names up, Tracy. You know what I mean? Thank you, Tom. One day I'll return to the stage. If anybody wants to fat shame me and attack me with an Ozempic pen, you can do. If you see me in the street and you want to just attack me with an Ozempic pen or something. That's it, mate. You come out like a renewed spiritual energy. You don't have to be a believer or religious. You all are welcome. Get to a church, everybody. I think it's good that we should all. Delirious Caliborn. I don't even fucking. Isn't Stephen? I shouldn't be saying this, but fuck it. Isn't Stephen King a bit of a nonce? Am I wrong? Allegedly. I don't know. I heard it. I don't know. He's got a little screwed up face, hasn't he? Them glasses on. I'm not a fucking fan of Stephen King. I'm not into horror books. Luke, let's be honest. I'm not into horror full stop. I think it's fucking rubbish. I think horror is rubbish. I think horror films are rubbish. Horror books are fucking rubbish. It's just rubbish. It's just people running around with masks on and fucking raspberry jam everywhere. It's all the same. Slasher movies. I think horror films are shit. I just need to say that. I think they're the lowest form of filmmaking. I just think they're just bullshit. You know, they're for people who want to shoot schools up. Sean, anyway, sorry for offending anybody with horror. He was a raging cocaine addict. I don't know, Sean. I keep on clutching my chest like some weirdo. And then he said to me, I said, what did he say? I said, no, I'm going on about it. You're wrong about it, horror and Steve. You're wrong about horror and Stephen King. I'm not wrong about you though, Martin Reddin. Don't you say it's pleased you want to link? Don't get brave now. I'm back in Wigan, so you can't fucking do anything to me. What have I said now? Andrew's putting green emojis. Have I alienated a new member of the community? I do. I'm sorry, everybody. I just alienate people. I need help. I've never been a fan of horrors either, but I love a good zombie flick. That sounds rude, doesn't it? Or is that me being dirty-minded? Some people like a good story, others like Disney. I don't even like Disney and Marvel. Disney and Marvel shit. Marvel's just boring now. Marvel's run out of superheroes, so they're fanning any fucking superhero link. Fry up, man. He owns a cafe by day. At the night, he does things in a cape full of grease, and he smells the chips. That isn't a Marvel character, but it could be. Reddin, that is the link, sire. I'll be giving you a recital on my piano later. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata in G minor. I won't really. I tried to learn a bit of it, and I learned a bit of it. It's on the list of things I have to do before I'm 90, is learn some piano. I fell behind with my guitar. Visit a church and keep them open. If not, you lose. Yes, exactly, Bob. Yes. This is very true. Fry Up Man could be Stephen King's next novel. Banana Man was the best. Yeah, probably something like Banana. Why don't you get Banana Man with Ryan Reynolds playing Banana Man? Man, he's Deadpool into. Marvel was great up until Infinity War and Endgame, then fell off a cliff. It's all fucking walking it. They shot themselves in foot with all this walk crap. When Eric eats a banana, nothing happens. Succumb. No, that's a bit sick. That Dolores. Are you a woman, Dolores, or a man? Well, I don't know who the fuck you Dolores Clambone is, and I don't fucking know. Actually, I've got something. Where is he? He's not come, has he? I say he's not come. He's not appeared on screen, has he? There's only Reddin. If you don't go on and scream, it's because if you don't come on this live stream now, Reddin, it's because
you're an absolute fucking nonce.
R.I.P. Wes Mac. The late, the great Wes Mac shall be immortalised forever in my buttons. Deadpool movies are funny too. That last Deadpool film with Wolverine was shit. I thought it was just boring. To be fair, I could be wrong. Yeah, last good film I saw, that Robbie Williams film was actually good. I went to that Robbie Williams film especially to take the piss out of it. I heard it was so bad, and then I watched it, and it was bloody good. It was a great film. Hello, it's Martin. Hello, Jim, it's Martin. How are you all anyway? Yeah, members, members, there's not many of you, but I hope you're enjoying the new content. I'm going to start looking after you. There's going to be a lot more content for members, you know. Hello. I've not muted yet. Have you? Are you there? Are you all there?
I'm just going to turn off YouTube. I always forget to do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Martin Reddin. Have you joined the monastery? New members to the channel, don't be alarmed by this. He's all right. He's not going to kill it. So what was the scarf? Is that a scarf on your head?
No, Jim, hang on a moment. I've got multiple devices playing. I wanted to emphasize since you've gone home, I've completely lost the plot, become very sad and lonely, and I wanted to kind of reconnect with my former madness, and I wanted to become a judge of people. And I didn't have one of those, like the wigs that they wear in court where they judge people. So I bought this oven glove from Habitat from Sainsbury's, and I thought it's a very long double one. I thought if I put it on my head, I would look something like a judge. Yeah, like this, like Shona said, like a twat off of Star Wars.
You remind me of somewhere one of those judges out of the Pink Floyd The Wall cartoon film in a strange, surreal way. I don't know. Is that just me?
Yeah.
Barry Tickler says you've got a badger on your head, meaning head.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, Jim, is that one of the things I became very consciously aware of is that I've become a little bit too normal. So I thought, like, now you've gone home and I'm missing you already, I thought that I'd just revert to type, channel my inner lunatic and go back to how I was. And what better way to do that than put an oven glove on top of your head and think you're better than everyone else?
So have I had? Can we? Is this my effect on you? Is this my banana effect on you by visiting you? I've sent you back into a pit of madness.
Possibly. I mean, you were like the culmination. Well, like you were like the yeah, really. Like I've had like months of hibernation, and then I had my young son come down to stay with me. He took me out to pubs and fish and chips and the cinema and meeting people. Then you arrived with Tracy, and we went to all these amazing places, and you got me talking to people who I would never have spoken to before, and I just possibly discovered more about my own area in 3 days than I did like in 3 years previously. And then then last night I went to a football match with my son and his girlfriend. I had a great time, I think. And it's like it was just like, it doesn't really get better than that. So I've now decided to just go mental again.
The Peckham Poet says, I'm going to do it in the style of John Bengal. He's got an oven glove on his head. He's got an oven glove on his head. He's got an oven glove on his head.
On his head. Yeah.
Thank you, Lee Shmee. Good evening, darling. I've not put the banners up yet, but you sent me. Thank you. I've not had time.
If anyone wants to know, I'm drinking a long black. Very late in the day to be drinking one, but as is possibly evidently aware, since I'm feeling so lonely, cold, and despairing since Jim has gone back up north, I've temporarily, and Brighton won at football yesterday, I've temporarily fallen off the wagon. So I'm now having to kind of drink lots of black coffee to come back, get back to normal.
Martin, I had an epiphany earlier today. Why don't me and a few of the channel next time I come down? Why don't we arrange for a group community meeting in St Leonard's on Sea, where some of the stalwarts of the channel could get? If any of you be up for adventure, we could all meet at St Leonard's on Sea. I have had the best fish and chips ever. I'm sorry to offend any chippy shops up here. I had the best the King's Road chippy in St Leonard's on Sea. I had the best ever cod and chips. It was mind blowing. We also stumbled across the Enigma code breaker, Alan Turing's house. Did you know that house was there, Martin?
I didn't, Jim. It's a complete surprise. I mean, our final day was completely spontaneous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You and Tracy were moaning about the cold. I was despairing about how soft you Northerners were compared to us hard guy Southerners. Who I was just walking around in like rolled up sleeves most of the time, and you just were moaning how cold it was. Anyway, we stumbled upon this church. Uh, we met the only church guardian who was possibly borderline occultist. He was definitely way up the street of most people who watch this channel in his skepticism of like the established order. And Jim was asking you many pertinent questions. It was an amazing church, really good time. And then we wandered out of them. We found another man. Much of the best, I have to say, the best moments of Jim's trip were the parts we couldn't film, because after we'd spoken to this guy Julian in the church, we literally stumbled across another man whilst we were taking pictures, and we had to convince him that we weren't like wrong uns casing the local joint for looking for to break and entering on a latter date. He turned out to be a member of the St. Leonard's Society. Yet another. There's a lot of people in St. Leonard's, isn't there, Jim, with like long silver hair and grey beards and
Yes.
sort of wizened faces and bright eyes who desperate to tell you the history of the place. So we met him, had a bit of a chat, and exchanged numbers and stuff. We're about to go into this like beautiful garden, which I hadn't been to before because I'm so boring. And then literally we saw this blue plaque, and it was Alan Turing's house. The godfather of computers, and the man who helped break the Enigma code at Bletchley Park. Started off the modern age really, and was treated horrendously by the government. He was a gay man. He was given overdoses of like what we would now call SSRI, selective serotonin inhibitors, antidepressants to sort of depress his libido and stuff like that. Basically a kind of chemical castration, as Jim says in the video. A national hero who was like literally battered with a metaphorical spade, really.
Well, the thing is, while they did that to him, all the elites were probably bumming in mansions.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that? The
Yeah.
common man, the common man, or whatever, couldn't be gay. But the same people, the same judges he was jailing gays were probably getting railed all over.
I mean, people might think when we talk on here, we're like a bunch of bigots and we're like racist and anti-gay. We're not. We're very much of the old school, Jim and I. I established that when Jim was here. It's like we don't care about your sexuality. We just don't want the whole philosophy, rammed down our throats, so to speak. And we're very much for Christianity also, and the majesty of the church. Again, we don't want it rammed down our throats, or people spouting out gobbledygook for 2 hours. Fuck off. And we don't care about what the color of your skin is, really. It's about whether you're a decent person, and that's how it used to be. Is that so radical? Not really,
Martin, let me thank you for inviting me down. I had a great time in St. Leonard's. St. Leonard's is an amazing place, very bohemian, very chilled. It's full of wide-eyed dreamers with grey. It's full of kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Bohemian, for want of a better word, creative, arty. We went into a book shop.
Let me just turn this light off. Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. Just a moment.
We went into a book shop. There was an Asian artist, the book shop owner, and there was this fella, this bloke, and we was talking about fucking acid. We were talking about LSD, then that went on to a conversation of other mad stuff, and Martin bought a book by a Chinese bloke, philosopher, Japanese, whatever.
I got talked into it, didn't I, Jim? They said, "Oh yeah, he's a great philosopher." They probably never heard of him.
Go on, enlighten the people on this channel who it is.
Jim, I have absolutely no idea. I opened it and it name checked a few people, and this guy we met, like this artist called Abdul, he reckoned that it was a good book. He was probably taking the piss out of me, so I bought it. They managed to get some coin out of me for I have no idea. The print is too small for me to read, to be honest. I'm sure it's yours.
I think I've read enough books in my life, but you can learn so much from books. You learn more by living, but that's not dissing books.
I've got a lot of books, haven't I, Jim? I've got a lot of books.
I've
read them all.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting. Martin's reading a book at the moment called Blitzed, and it's about the drug use, the drug use in Nazi Germany, which I want to read that book. The book's called.
I will send it to you, Jim. Yeah, I'm actually reading that at the same time as another book, Nazi Billionaires. Not that I'm obsessed with the Nazis or anything.
Has that got a forward in it by Peter Boothroyd?
Yeah. Well, there's lots of recommendations in the front, and basically what it tells you, there's not enough time tonight, because I know that people on here tonight have previously said, that that both our wars were financed by Jewish bankers, blah blah blah. Let's have a session on that one another evening when I can expand on my own version of that story.
Of course, Martin. We've got a question from Sean C, a lovely, lovely, lovely WoW member of the channel.
I haven't got my glasses. Can you read it out, Jim?
Question from Martin: Did anything about meeting Jimmy in person surprise you? Same question to Jimmy on respect to you. I'll go first, Martin. Martin is bigger in stature. I was expecting a little small man in a cupboard, but Martin is bigger, and I think he could fight if he wanted to. But that's about it. What did you ever? Was there anything about me, Martin, that you were surprised about?
Yeah, I mean, after sort of 3 days or so, you literally didn't make any impression on me whatsoever. I just realised at the end of it that you looked tired and you're sitting on a wall like some fucking gnome, and I reckon I could have you straight away.
Do you know what? After 3 days with Martin talking incessantly, then he said, "I want to get my car cleaned." His car was clean. I want to get it cleaned, and I thought, for fuck's sake, why are you cleaning your car? Oh, I've got a video somewhere of the garage that Martin, the garage Martin uses to pick women up. I've got that on video. I need to put that online. Anybody new to the channel doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about. This is a mythology. This is almost a mythology.
Yeah, Jim, I mean, it only cost, as Tracy, it cost $1.99 it cost $1.99 to get to fill up a soapy long hose, which you can spray all over the place for like 2.5 minutes or whatever it was. And Jim just sat on the wall. Well, he made Tracy wash my car.
Churches have great campsites. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
What's that one? I can't read anything. I haven't got
churches are great campsites. Lee said the best way to be, Martin.
The churches down here are quite grand, aren't they, Jim? They're very grand. And we were surprised that some of them were open. And I am quite religious, and I got quite sort of reflective and sad. Jim and Tracy persuaded the warden to take them up into the what was that called, Jim? The part above where the choir.
The balcony.
Yeah, I just sat there sulking, thinking about lost loved ones and stuff. But it was fantastic.
You had one of your funny turns. What you do?
I did have a funny turn. Yeah, I did have a funny turn.
Had funny turns, and he'll be all right, and then all of a sudden he'll go like really weepy. But he was all right after, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I go either really weepy or really hyper, don't I? I start running about and flapping my arms everywhere, or else I just start sulking.
Sean C says, how does St Leonard's compared to Wigan? More chilled, better air, you're by the sea, lots of good sea air to breathe in. Food was better.
I mean,
food was better.
My point was that Jim, if I could describe it in this way, was like a gateway drug. We went into these places, and I would have just gone in there and probably mumbled and said hello. And Jim asked loads of questions, and really within seconds started to get into some of the people we met. So the church guy who wasn't really a Christian. I had to shut up because he was going on about Palestine, and I didn't really want to argue the nuances. Kind of agreed with him about 90%. People assume that because you have a Jewish background that you're some kind of mate of Benjamin Netanyahu. Far from it. He's a massive cunt. And that was good. Meeting the other people. It was just a kind of the time seemed to go very quickly. We actually didn't do the things we had planned to do. One of, I think the highlight of our time down here was the Shipwreck Museum, which was amazing. Something I'd never been to before in a part of Hastings by the coast, which I call Fish Town, which is near the old town. Lots of black old buildings, which were smoke houses and fish storage houses, and they've been turned into still selling fish, flats, museums, art houses. It was amazing. It was really, really interesting. Jim bought a red lobster to go to, so he could put in his kitchen. He was insisting on that. He wouldn't let me buy him a fat lady. I don't know why. I wanted to buy him one of those seaside ladies in stripy swimsuits. I might get him one for his birthday and send it to him anyway, even if he doesn't like them.
I just wanted you to save your money. I bought a red lobster and some glass ball things that bought like balls on rope thing that are like sea furring shit. To give it great to see both of you meet up. Best thing you can do is connect with each other. Rasputin, James, hello, good evening.
we certainly connected.
Indeed. Let's get through some comments. Sean C. I'm super interested in psychedelics. Cured my addiction, depression, and trauma. I'm not a psychonaut. I regularly use it, but they fascinate me.
So Sean has just kind of highlighted a very interesting topic, which we could. So as well as talking about Nazis on meth and Nazi billionaires and Israel-Palestine on another evening, we can talk about psychedelics and healing of trauma and the pros and the cons, the dangers and dosages and all that kind of stuff. Because I'm really interested in that sort of stuff myself. But we don't have time tonight.
No, we've got a lot, for fucking some reason people are commenting tonight. I can't understand it. I'm taken aback. Tall motherfucker has a question for you. Question for Martin. Do you still think Barry Titler is a knobhead? Ha ha ha. Only joking, Barry, by the way.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, Barry drives through Sussex on a regular basis, with a big flag coming up the top of it, and he's always messaging me to say, I'm in Sussex, watch out for me, I'm not scared of you, you bug-eyed nonce. I'm not worried about it, okay? Not worried about it, I actually admire Barry. Now he's driving big trucks. He's not cleaning windows or anything. I couldn't do it. as Jim would tell you, I can't even reverse my car without hitting a fucking wheelie bin. So I admire Barry, you know. But you know
what?
he's been into Horsham, where I used to live. You know, if I'd have known he was coming, I'd have been waiting for him. You know, with my rod and stuff.
All respect to Barry Titler. He's started a new life. He's learned to drive a truck. I couldn't drive an HGV. I couldn't fucking reverse a fucking HGV down a narrow country lane. How the fuck you do that is fucking, I don't know how you do it. But yeah.
I mean, we're just joking. I'm literally a regular viewer of Barry's channel, and I find it transfixing, like watching him do it in his calm and cool. When I was in my 20s, I tried to drive a 3.5 truck at the post office, and I couldn't. Previous to that, I tried to drive a flat top one. I drove it into the back of a van on the A23, and I was just awful. Yeah, I could drive minibuses. That was my limit, you know. And I know Barry has said this, you know, that it's training and anyone can do it. That's not true. You do need. It's a very skilled job.
You know what? I briefly had a job as a hire tool collector and deliverer in a white Mercedes Sprinter, and outside this school in Knaresborough, I was parked near the gates, and my foot slipped off the brake, and I couldn't get it back on in time, and I smashed the wall. I smashed into one of the brick columns and dented it all. So yeah, Barry Titler.
Yeah, Jim, I had this job where I was when I was a student during the summer, in between tech college and uni, where I was driving like this sort of parcels delivery van, and I had to drive this flat top truck with like a lathe strapped to the back, and I had to get to Crawley to Brighton before the end of the day. And I was, in those days, there's no Google Maps or anything like that. And I glanced down at the map and the traffic had stopped. I drove into the truck in front of me, caved the front in, caused a massive delay on the A23. I'd already caused grief to my bosses. And the guy who owned the kind of courier company, he was into kendo, and he literally drove down about an hour later. He drove down the hard shoulder and turned up, and was like all that. You know, in the old days, antifreeze used to be like sort of lime green, you know, like Swarfiga. It's all over the road, oil and Swarfiga. Fortunately, no bodies. And he turned up in his kendo outfit. And he was all nice and conciliatory, but the next day I got the sack.
Fucking hell, Martin, you're a one. Raw Melody, I once read a shocking book that was all about the dangers of smoking that I immediately gave up reading. Right, come on, we've got loads of comments to get through tonight. Rich T, good evening. The Dolores fucking whatever born. They use estrogen injections designed especially for that task on Turing, not SSRIs. We've got lots of fucking comments to get through. Sorry for swearing. Yeah. Martin, have you paid £16 to look at a fish?
No, I didn't. Okay. So that was the best comment of the whole weekend was provided by Tracy. So we went into these free museums, and I was momentarily distracted by a family of Nigerians outside the aquarium, and then they disappeared. And Jim went to go in, and Tracy said her comment at the weekend was, I can't do her voice, but it was, I ain't paying 16 quid to look at fish.
I hate aquariums. They're fucking shit. They're just fucking.
They are fucking shit. Who wants to? She's right. I mean, Tracy is right. Who wants to pay any money whatsoever to look at a bunch of fucking fish that are kept captive in glass cages, and you've got to pay 16 quid for it?
Oh, look, a fish. It's a yellow fish. Oh, I've got good. If you go further up there, there's some red fish. There's a blue fish eating some little black fish, which isn't meant to be racist, by the way. Moving on swiftly. My drunk mate goes to church about twice a year and bursts out crying so he gets loads of free cuddles. I don't know who this knobhead is. I'm throwing him off. Fuck him. And then, okay, hello. Sorry, I had to do a Martin Red. The video of the museum and the members is cool. Made me excited to watch the rest of the content with you. Gonna wait till I'm feeling low to watch them. Don't feel low when you're not watching Martin. You'll throw yourself out window.
No, I think I love them. So if anyone who's watching this tonight and doesn't hate me, sign up, $2.99, and it's just really good stuff. It's not all me, thank God. Mostly Jim. It's like it's mostly about like adventures and exciting places that we spontaneously went to in various parts of Hastings and St Leonard's over the previous weekend. It's all good stuff, really. I would enjoy it even more if I wasn't in it, but you know, if you like me, it's an added bonus.
I would say some of the videos are like Noam Chomsky meets Mr. B's buildings.
Yeah. There's for regular viewers, there's always a bit of an eye towards previous stuff. So if you're in the know, you're going to enjoy them even more. You know, if you see Mr. B's buildings, if you're a fan of the old crock pot, any of that sort of stuff, you know, Urban Explorers, Peter Boothroyd, any of that stuff, Webster. You're gonna find something that kind of, you know, that you like. You find a little bit tasty, a little nugget somewhere in there.
I think we should meet up with Peter Boothroyd next time. I think Peter Boothroyd, anybody, you know what? Seriously, a few of the channel members, we should all get together and have a sojourn to St Leonard's. That should be the spiritual home of this channel.
I think so, because you can't get anywhere more salty or fishy or southern. It's not about like meeting up, like to have some like occasion. It might just be one day in the near summer where people just want to come and have like a picnic on the green or something, or around the Crazy Golf or something like that. It won't be a big thing, you know. It won't be like, oh, we're holding an event and there'll be like, you know, free ketamine and like we'll all be like dancing our cocks off to psytrance music or anything like that, and then going for like, you know,
unless Peter provides the ambient trance soundtrack.
Yeah.
Raw Melody says, have you ever we're skating through things tonight, so we're not having big debates. Have you ever heard the original version of the Bible say it was a mushroom Eve picked in the Garden of Eden and not an apple?
I've heard that kind of stuff, you know, that Jesus was part of a mushroom cult. I think these bigger questions, they all deserve an episode in themselves, don't they? Is Christianity really a mushroom cult? Let's explore Israel-Palestine, you know, all those kind of things. Is globalism just another front for gay race communism? Did we meet some really interesting people? Who would you really like to kill? If you could go back in time, other than Hitler, who would you like to kill? We could have that as one evening. I'm going to throw it out there for me. For me, it's Steve Jobs. You know, fuck these phones.
Who would I like to kill from history?
Can't be Hitler, okay.
Well, we wouldn't have had crystal meth for Hitler, would we?
Pardon?
Did Hitler's people invent crystal meth, according to you?
No, it was before his time, but he was a big fan of it. And the drug they used to use, we start off, you know, it had the brilliant name of Pervitin, which was really good.
At some point when Martin's read that book, we'll talk about the Nazis' use of drugs, which was apparently quite extensive.
Yeah. It was, yeah. I've also got another book which will appeal to fans of Dr. Robert. It's called Quacks, and it's about like fake doctors peddling their wares and their salves and their ointments and their bottom creams, and
Martin,
through history.
Martin, would you like some myself?
Yeah.
It's only £75, and it's like green Vaseline with privets in it, and it's like 0.000% cannabis.
Yeah.
Dr. Robert, what happened to Dr. Robert? He's somebody else who fucked off. Come back. Everybody left there.
It's probably been battered by one of his many girlfriends, I reckon. So I hear.
Oops. Anyway, the thing is, every single ancient civilization used psychedelics. Martin's gone too far again. They were revered and celebrated as a powerful medicine and treated with the utmost respect. Yes, we'll go into depth about psychedelics at some point, Mr. Sean C. Sir, Kieran Mitchell, is that half? I can't fucking speak. Is that Horsham in Norfolk?
No, that's Horsham is Horsham St Faith's in Norfolk. It's so where I originated from was Horsham, West Sussex. It's about like 10 miles from Crawley, 16 miles from Guildford, 25 miles from Brighton, sort of in again, sort of Gatwick Airport, 15 miles away. It's a very, very, these days, a very posh market town. I went to school. I was born, went to school, and worked most of my life, all in the same road. It's all in
Martin, look who's here.
I can't see who it is.
Barry Titler.
Who is it?
Hello,
Who is
Martin.
it? I haven't got my glasses, Barry. Oh, Barry. Oh, Barry's sporting my haircut these days, I see.
Good evening, Mr. Titler.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
All the better.
Where are you, Barry? Are you anywhere near Sussex?
Not Sheffield tonight, Martin. I'm going to
Sheffield, miles away.
Buckingham tomorrow. I was in Poole yesterday, and I was actually only thinking about you. I was in Poole, and I came through St Leonard's on my way out to Poole, but that's not the same St Leonard's on Sea, is it not?
No, it's a different one. My brother-in-law used to work in Poole for the ONLI until a few years ago. It's quite a posh place, Poole, actually.
Yeah, it looks it.
On the whole.
It does.
Yeah.
How are you anyway? You keeping well?
Yeah, I mean, down here, Jim will tell you, the architecture is, we got some impromptu history lessons from these sort of beardy, weirdy people. There's quite a lot of them down here. It seems to be like there's a whole like community of like long-haired, silver-haired, beardy gentlemen who seem to be very skinny, like they don't eat anything. And they're very keen to tell you the local history and their opinions on the New World Order and stuff like that. Which
sorry, Martin.
It's like I just finish off saying that you were like a key, because I would have just nodded my head, because I'm very reluctant to get into debates with people because it's kind of almost pointless, and I often like to rib people up the wrong way. But yeah, Jim was you were like a key, weren't you? Like just asking people these questions, and they kind of opened up.
But Barry, we were saying how much neither of us can fucking drive like big vehicles. We both had stories about crashing things, and how you can drive a big fucking HGV up a back lane backwards. It takes some doing that.
It does.
Well, it becomes second nature after a while. When I first started doing it, if you put me on an empty car park with 25 bays to choose from, I'd end up at wrong one. Do you know what I mean? But it just becomes second nature after a while. You're doing it all the time. It's your job, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's just what I do. Like I twatted a few things in reverse when I was backing up to things when I first started, but it happens, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
How did they cope with that? Did they say, are you allowed to? Do they have their own people who can fix the wagons? Their own mechanics?
Yeah. There's always a garage where you go in, like, you know what I mean. But no, it's like second nature now. It's just, you're only as good as your next job. It's like sometimes you can put me up. Go on, sorry, Martin.
No, I interrupted you. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Sometimes you can put me in a situation where I've got to get in the tightest of bays possible, or round 3 or 4 houses and avoiding parked cars left, right, and centre, and I can nail it in one. If you put me on an empty car park and tell me to put it in bay 6, I'll end up in bay 9. Do you know what I mean? It just happens. We all have off days, like, but it just becomes second nature. It really does.
Sorry, everybody.
So for me,
Martin, give me a minute. You're sherry, Martin. 1 millisecond, Martin. Salesy, thank you for the coffee, mate. Shout out to Salesy. Martin, carry on with your tale.
Right. It's your fault that I've fallen off the wagon, Jim. For me, one of the jobs I'd really like to do down here, and the guys I really like, and they are the only people I can see other than a few posties who are part of the old school, are bus drivers. And I'd love to drive the buses around here. I'd love to be a bus driver. But there's just no way I could do it. I would just be, it's, as Jim would tell you, it's probably the worst place to drive a bus. It's like you've got hills which are like, 45 degrees, cars everywhere, like old people stepping out with wheels in front of you. And I would just, within a day, I would have clipped a load of cars, driven over a load of people. There's no way, I just know I can't do it. I've tried to drive things bigger than a van.
You can't drink sherry as well if you're driving a fucking bus.
It's true, Jim, but I wouldn't do that, Jim, as you know.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, this job, though, Martin, what I'm doing, because when you think about it, I'm living my life in a tin box. I'm paying a mortgage on a house I don't live in. I'm lucky at living it 2 nights a week. My wife's staying in the house, but it's the money, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm wasting a lot of my life living in this truck. I don't see home. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going all over the UK, but I don't get the chance to stop and see any of it. I only pull into service stations and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the position I am now because I worked a large part of 14 years on a night shift at Royal Mail, and it kind of fucked me up. And I had it's given me some money now, but I wouldn't have wanted, the sacrifice you have to ask yourself with work, don't you, is the cost benefit analysis and whether it's worth it. I think at the end of the day, you're doing a vital job. It's really difficult, and I don't think people appreciate it enough. People do not appreciate the people who keep our infrastructure going, transport and the movement of goods. They don't really notice. They would all notice if it all came to a grinding halt, but they don't notice when it's going on.
You see, academically, sorry, I interrupted you, Jimmy.
All right, mate. And can I just interject with a quick question for you, Barry? I hope you don't mind me asking.
No, it's fine. Crack on.
Have you never thought of monetizing your channel? Because some of the views you've had, you'd make a few quid. That's all I meant to ask you, kind of thing.
I have, but you see, it's like I've kind of gone off YouTube at the minute because I don't know. I'll be honest with you. When I first started out doing YouTube, I first set up my profile. It was the Wigan Drummer 2010, and I was in a band at the time, and it was just seemed a good idea for promoting this band. That kind of went tits up, and then I just started doing a couple of daft videos, and it just kind of went from there. I think possibly the best thing and the worst thing whatever happened to me was coming on social media. I had no interest in social media. I didn't even own a laptop or anything or a modern phone. I had a Nokia 3210 up until 2010. And it was that video that I done, which is now, 12, 13 year old or something, that pie shop video thing, where I'm just sat in a window cleaning van eating a pie, That was probably the worst thing what could have ever happened to me, looking back, because it kind of gave me a platform that I didn't really ask for at the time. I was really happy, just living my life, Jack the lad. Yeah, I've always had, you know, manual jobs and stuff like that, paying fuck all. That's why I'm kind of stuck in this job now, because the money's good and I can't get out of it, you know what I mean, because I've got a mortgage and everything. But looking back, I can honestly say, hand on heart, YouTube was the worst thing for me. Because once that video went viral, you start getting people contacting you. Oh, can we use this footage for, you know, BBC Radio Manchester? Jamie Oliver's lot got in touch with me. And I actually thought, naively in my own head, I actually thought that I'm going to make something here. I can be a bloody star type of thing. Do you know what I mean? And then once, you know yourself, Jimmy, once them kind of TV companies have had the fill with you, they just fuck you off. You know what I mean? And so you're left like thinking, well, hang on, maybe I can do this myself, and I can start doing documentary type of things. And for quite a few years, I kind of took myself seriously and lost myself doing that. I'll be honest with you, I did. I got it back to just being all about having fun again. And I've never really been interested in monetization. I have considered it recently, but you see, I've got to watch what I'm doing now on this job. I can't just go out filming everything and putting things online, because you go into people's sites and they don't want you filming straight away. So I've kind of taken a back step from YouTube that way. But in all honesty, I've questioned myself, what do I want to do it for? Do I want to do it for money, or do I want it for attention and views anymore? And the honest answer is no, I don't want it for attention and views anymore. I have been through phases through that where I think this will make a good video. I'll try this will get me some views. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm in two minds with the monetization. Yeah, it would be good, but part of me feels that if I do that, then I'm just going to be looking at pumping out content just for get some money. Do you know what I mean? So it's a good question, but the honest answer is I don't know.
I'll just say though quickly, you've got a lot of content, what they call is evergreen, which people keep go back looking at. So that you don't really need to. You can always add additional content, but because you've got all that stuff, you know what I mean. You bring it can bring you. I'm only saying it's just a
no. You're fine.
The thought really kind of thing, but
I kind of wish I hadn't deleted that other channel that I had, the first original Wigan Drummer one, because I think there was some good videos on that. But when I left Wigan 8 years ago for Started Fresh in Cumbria, I really did think, well, that's part of me's gone now. Do you know what I mean? But it was like a magnet; it kept pulling me back in. Do you know what I mean? So I've ended up setting this channel up, and it's just is what it is, I suppose. But the one thing I have found, I have put some videos out on this channel, and they've gone absolutely mental. They've had over like 200,000 views in a week and stuff. But I often find that it's only lately views where it involves shithousing. Do you know what I mean? Or conflict. That seems to sell. And I don't really want to go down that route anymore. I'm just happy staying away from all that shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Barry, the ones that appealed to me was where you were kind of going down some narrow lane or coming up to a junction, and it was all like it was literally like I put myself like in a video game. Point of view type video, and I was thinking, oh, if I was doing this and I was being forced to drive this truck, and there's some arsehole in a BMW coming up on the inside, and I've only got like a foot either side to clear, and I was literally thinking that that's what I was doing, you know. So that's what appeals to me about the channel.
Well, I actually just I filmed everything on my phone. I just used to have something set up on the back here, and I just used to put the phone on it, turn it sideways in a what you call it landscape or whatever, press record, and off I go. And I never touched it till I stopped. I'd edit it down a couple of times if it was going on for too long, but sometimes I'd record for 2-3 hours, and then I'd edit that down to half an hour. Do you know what I mean? And it was just what you see is what you get type of thing, and it kind of worked. It did. It worked for me because I'm not slagging off other truck drivers, but a lot of them kind of make the job out to be something glamorous and like it's great and that, and it really isn't. You know, you're working sometimes for. I started work this morning at 4:30. I got finished at 8 o'clock tonight. Do you know what I mean? I've had my tea and I've sat down waiting for Jimmy. Come on, I'll be back up again at 4:30 tomorrow morning, and it's long hours, long days, and you get treated like shit on roads. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. You kind of love it or hate it. Go on, Jimmy.
Barry, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Right, last year I made a video, right, and it was basically a massive kind of rusty girder on the back of a lorry, slowly going through the traffic. And because it was loading the traffic up, I just made a video saying, "Look at this big fucking chocolate bar."
Right.
I was then inundated with comments from lorry drivers telling me all kinds of things. A lorry, who do you think you are? Lorry's brought you everything. And I never realised before. It was kind of like I'd almost offended the Freemasons or a brotherhood, and they all like kind of converged on me. And I was being attacked off all these lorry drivers. So is there kind of like perceived brotherhood amongst lorry drivers, or is there like elitism, or is there fallings out and cliques and things? And what's your thought?
I don't think so. I think a lot of people. There are a lot of people what seem to think that there's something special. I mean, let's face it, everything we own, including myself, has come on the back of a lorry at some point. Even this phone I'm talking on right now, even the lorry I'm sat in's been on the back of a lorry at some point. So it all comes off a truck somehow.
And the asylum seekers joke.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But it's like, there are some of them out there that think that there's some kind of superheroes and that. We're not. We're just doing a job. And, you know, that people say, I think we should get paid a bit more money for what we do because, you know, it's long hours, it's long days and that. But at the end of the day, nobody forced me to do this job. It's something I always wanted to do 20 odd years ago, but life kind of got in the way. Do you know what I mean? But nobody forces any of us to do it. There are some shit jobs out there where you're getting paid shit money. And when you work it out, you're working up to 15, 16 hours a day. You're driving for 9, 10 hours a day as well. But it's like, people say, oh, you could earn more stacking shelves at Tesco's. Fine, go and work at fucking Tesco's then. Nobody forces any of us to sit behind these wheels and do what we do. I'm kind of like stuck in this job now because academically, even though I'm not thick, I'm qualified for fuck all. I left school with no qualifications. I can't earn the money I'm earning now doing anything else. If I didn't do this job, I'd be back in factories or working on building sites and stuff. And I'm too old for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think one of the things you said earlier about there is a distinct lack of respect to lorry drivers of all sizes, even if you work for a company. And I know these days, obviously, you're carrying like large loads, so it will be taken off by obviously like a forklift or something like that, I presume. We had this kind of culture in Royal Mail where there was a lot of 3.5 trucks, the ones you can actually drive legally on a normal license. And this guy used to come in at, you know, like during the night 2 or 3 times, and we were in the canteen or something, and we would all just like sort of watch him unload all the sacks himself and make a joke about it. And to this day, even though it was years ago, I have dreams. It's part of my sort of guilty conscience where I worry and get anxious about the fact that I didn't help the lorry driver unload his truck, and I just chuckled along with everyone else with the jokes about this driver called Malcolm, and he was unloading on the dock, and we made sort of smutty jokes about it. And what we really should have done is got up off our asses and like help the guy move the cages off the back of the vehicle and all of that kind of stuff. But we didn't because we were assholes.
He was getting paid for it, wasn't he? The one thing what does annoy me though at times is like yesterday. I've come out of pool yesterday. I was coming down to St Leonard's. You get to a roundabout, you've got to give way to the right, and it's getting quite busy. So you're holding all the traffic up behind you because I've got to take 2 lanes to get around the bloody thing. There's a gap from the right, so you pull out. You're weighing 44 ton. It doesn't pull out quick; it pulls out slow. There's nothing on that roundabout when you pull out, and as soon as you're halfway out, somebody comes from nowhere. They see you all of a sudden, slow down, and then start braying on the horn and calling you a wanker and every name under the sun. Then go past you and start brake checking you. But as soon as I react and give them grief back, it's me what gets in trouble because the first thing they do is ring the company up, your driver. So that's annoying, but you kind of get used to it. You know what I mean? You kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, now people only see it at the front of the bonnet. They don't forward think. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Barry, we've got a question from Just Bob. Have you ever had any illegals in the back of your wagon?
No, I haven't. It's I don't think they'd want to get in the back of this bloody thing. I carry everything from wood products to actual shit household recycling. So if they want to get in the back of this, then fucking good luck to them.
Just ladyboys, hey Barry.
Just ladyboys, yeah, just ladyboys. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I've never seen the fucking chat as busy. I nearly fell off my chair. Really.
I can't see any comments. I can only see what's highlighted because I'm in the studio.
There's no hatred. It's all good. But you know,
I don't mind anyway. I'm thick-skinned. It's like I say. You know, as I mentioned before, the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me was YouTube. It was a good thing for me in a sense because, you know, it kind of opened my eyes and got me out there a bit and got me some great experiences. But the worst thing was, like I say, having a video go viral and then start getting on telly and that and think you're going to make something, and then they just drop you and it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? But I'm 50 years old now, so life's too short, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, Barry? I had a message off on TikTok of this casting agent the other day. We're looking for people for a reality TV show to put people against each other who have really extreme opposing views, and you might win a prize. So I'll on your show. You'll probably put a fucking agenda. You'll make me say something to make me look like a complete fucking knob.
Look like a cunt. Yeah.
And then we've been there. You exactly what you said. I mean, that reality TV show I was on, I thought I was going to be a star off the back of it.
Yeah.
And all they do is they pick you up, they use you, and they used to say,
absolutely.
They call it somebody on the crew said this is the sausage factory. They just fucking put you in and they turn you out mincemeat. That's why a lot of these kids who go on these fucking shows top themselves because they can't cope with being thrown out there and then nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like from 0 to fucking 1,000, isn't it? You know, and then back again.
Yeah, Jim. I mean, if you hadn't made it, instead of being a YouTube star, you'd have probably been a massive cunt these days. You know, if you hadn't made it. So.
I still am a cunt, Martin. You know what? Let me just say something what Barry said. I'll put it out there, and I thought this had changed in me. I used to think I no longer have the need for the approval of others. But when I was doing that therapy, and it brought it up to me, I still need this social media shit. I still need the validation and the approval of other people. Even at my age, it has not left me that need to fill that void, the void in you know what I mean, kind of thing. So fair play to you, Barry, for
I mean, I know Jimmy and I had like a lot of back and forth years ago, and it was, you know, I was obsessed with him at one point. I was. Every time he'd put a video up, I'd be on it looking. I'd be checking his fucking YouTube. Has he put anything on? Yeah, that fucking man. Has he said out about me? Do you know what I mean? But
he has that effect on people.
Jimmy and I have a lot more in common than a lot of people think. I mean, I'm not going to get too deep in this particular video, but the need for approval with me, I'll be honest with you, I never knew my father until I was going on 14. I had a stepfather who I've got 3 brothers. They're my half brothers. Well, they're my brothers as far as I'm concerned. You know, I've known them since they were born. But from being like in my early teens, I've never had a father figure in my life. So I always felt the need for approval. And I've always lived my life, my younger life, wanting to be liked, you know what I mean? Wanting approval type of thing, because I never had it. And I think that's where, see, a lot of people have always tried, certainly throughout my late teens and when I left school and started working and then started becoming a young man, a lot of people have always thought I've always had this kind of outgoing, confident personality. I'm not a hard man in any way, shape or form. When I was shoving Martin that particular night and egging him on, I went too far with Martin that night, and I do apologise for that now. I'm not ashamed to admit it. In reality, Martin would knock fuck out me. He's a lot bigger than me and probably a fucking lunatic. Do you know what I mean? I am a lover, not a fighter. But because I've always had this confident personality, throughout my younger life, people have always tried to put me in what they think is my place and put me down, like type of thing. But I've always been this way. Do you know what I mean? I've got a good moral compass. I've always had a good moral compass. But I think in my younger life, I've always felt this need for approval. And that's where the YouTube kind of thing helped me. It was like gratification off strangers. But then once you get through all that, you think, well, what's the fucking point? Do you know what I mean? So now I don't really feel the need to do YouTube videos anymore. I do them as and when I can be arsed, really, or if I feel as if I've got something to say. And at the moment, I really don't think I've anything to say on YouTube anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I think to our both credit, Barry, we're both resilient characters. We've both kind of put up with a lot of shit. And we've both, you know what? We've both have online, and I still get people threatening to come and find me and kick fuck out of me for nothing.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah.
We both have had that kind of onslaught of fucking hatred online and on social media and in our personal lives. And like I said, we are very similar characters.
Oh, very, absolutely, very similar.
So that's why there was that kind of clash kind of thing. But
I mean, it was good. It was good for ratings at the time, you know what I mean? Because half of your subscribers, even though they was giving me shite, they were still fucking knocking me views up. So it was great for me at the time. But
you know what I mean?
It was childish looking back. Excuse me.
Sorry, mate. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I caught the train to Warrington once with a fucking box of spanners to get you, and then I turned back and thought it wasn't worth it.
it's true.
But no, I think seriously, one of the things we've all demonstrated as men, and this is when you get into the real meaning of if religion has anything to say to us, is the power of like forgiveness and moving on. And I would say that's possibly it's quite a male trait, you know, because I find, without being sexist to our female viewers, that women tend to just never get over it and just go on forever. Whereas men, even if it ends up in fisticuffs, men will kind of move on. And that's always been the case since school days, right up until today, to be honest.
Martin Barry, I have to say, Sean C, the member, would like to pass on his apology to you, Barry, because he said he gave you some abuse back in the day.
Water off a duck's back, mate. Water under the bridge. It's nothing personal. I never really took anything personal. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of my early YouTube videos was, if I'm honest, and we are being honest, it was a lot of it was for self gratification and getting a bit of attention that perhaps I felt I didn't have when I was a young lad. Do you know what I mean? But obviously now I'm 50 years old, and I've kind of fell into the rat race now. From being carefree and single and doing what the fuck I wanted when I was younger. When I met my wife, call me old-fashioned if you want. My wife does work, but I just felt as if it was my role to provide. So I am in a catch-22 now. I love my wife very much, and I'm very happy in myself, and she loves me, which is great. Do you know what I mean? Somebody what sees me warts and all, me bald head, me big ears, she don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? She likes me for me, but I hardly see her. So when I'm at home at weekends, I spend all my time with her. I don't go out anymore on my own because I am a prisoner in this tin box on wheels all week. But I can't earn the money that I'm earning doing anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Can I ask you one question, Barry? Does your wife not complain about them breasts behind you? Is she all right with that?
No, she's all right with that. It's just a poster I ordered offline. But them's a lot of cards. I don't know if you can see them. Them's a lot of cards what she sent me. So like Valentine's Day and stuff like that. She does write me cards out for my birthday and stuff. But I pulled up on a services a couple of months ago, and I was talking to this young lad, and I had the light on, and he pulled up alongside him. He says, have you got that picture on your wall? So me winding him up, I said, well, believe it or not, lad, I don't know what the app is. I said, but wife took a selfie of her tits, like, and she's had it printed out to put it on. Fucking hell, what is it that? I'll get my girlfriend to it. I said, I didn't have the heart to tell him I'd ordered it offline from fucking China. It came in a container. But, yeah.
Peter Boothroyd's in, everybody.
Sorry, Barry. Peter Boothroyd is in the house.
Hello,
Greetings and salutations.
Peter.
I'm not slim at
Everybody's crawling out of the woodwork tonight.
I did see a video a while back when Peter came on one of your videos, Jimmy, and it did amuse me. It tickled me that he said he'd got with some girl or something, and I don't know if he was just off vinegar stroke, and he was about to get a shag, and he started talking about me and watching Barry Tickler, and I thought that's a bit weird. I nearly told you to sing that song to him, old Jane.
Apparently, according to what Peter said, there was a young girl with ample bosoms naked on the bed in his bedroom, and he was watching you, and you're either in your truck or just about over a fell somewhere.
And he was obsessed with a bald big-eared wigging lad. A bald big-eared wigging lad chatting shite on a fucking YouTube video.
I do think Jim's actually moved the conversation on with that simple word. That there's a whole kind of lexicon of words that men like to use about bosoms, isn't there? And it's like ample and developed, cleavage, declit, all those kind of words that we use because we are basically like from the cradle to the grave obsessed with them. It's just really weird. But there's so many good words. I have this. I hate people when they go, "I've got an app for this," but I use this app called Word Hippo. It's like a thesaurus and gives you all the words and different meanings, and it's just like so many different words, and they all in their own way like describe the object of our affection in different ways. The curvature.
Martin, stop. Just the Peckham poet says Martin looks like he could give someone a good, well-educated beating.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
I think
you look a little bit like Dr. Evil tonight, Martin.
All right, Barry, the Peter Boothroyd story. The girl was naked in the room, and I think you came on Gogglebox while this was happening. So he just stopped watching that. His Gogglebox was on you instead where he should have been.
I'm quite proud of the fact. I'm quite proud of being on Gogglebox. Actually, that last ITV thing I was on, they tried to make me look like a twat on that program. They did. They got me on for the fun factor and humiliation factor, but by just being me, I knew exactly what I was on there for, and they was going to try and make me look like a twat, but I came across quite good, I think, and I was just myself, and Gogglebox featured me on it for about 3 minutes, and I thought I was made up with that, like I was quite...
Yeah, I reckon you'd be really good. Yeah, I could imagine you'd be really good on that.
You did very well. You was very funny on that show.
I was just myself, but I knew they was going to try and edit me look like a twat, so I thought, well, if anyone's going to make a fool of me, I'll do it myself, do you know what I mean?
At the time, I remember I was fucking seething when I said, "You can't fucking tell me this."
Can't tell me that bastard, yeah. I was going to message you and say, make sure you're fucking watching tonight, you know what I mean? I'm not sure, but I'm like...
I'm saying to
this is the thing. This is the thing I was trying to talk.
I was saying to people near it, he's not funny, is it? Is he funny?
He's not funny. He's not funny. Look at him. He's fucking shit.
Oh, sorry, Martin. Go on.
No. You've just actually kind of gone into a bit of detail of what I was talking to you about the weekend, because I said I just really don't understand your rivalry about viewing figures and how many people have watched something or what you've been on. And I said, why are you guys so like worried and concerned and you have this rivalry? Because it doesn't matter. I said, you could have a brilliant channel with just 30 people following it, and you can have a shit channel with like 3,000 people following it. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter how many views or and sometimes less is better. And again, you've just highlighted between the two of you something that just I can't quite understand.
Well, I think when Jimmy and I was at our height and having a go at each other with a rivalry. It was probably like 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. And yeah, I was fucking obsessed with him, mate. I was checking his fucking YouTube all the time. Was that cunt put anything up? Do you know what I mean? Has he put anything up?
Barry, likewise.
Yeah, I was. I'd be on it within 30 seconds, like. And even an ex-girlfriend said, "For fuck's sake, will you two just get a room?" Do you know what I mean? She'd just leave it out, but it was obsessive, wasn't it? But I think in hindsight, and you get older and that, you think, what's the fucking point, like? And all it was doing was just entertaining total strangers, like public badger baiting. There seems to be a big thing with that now with YouTube, with all these so-called hard cases calling one another out and that. I think if me and Jimmy had monetized it years ago, we'd have made a fucking fortune.
Yeah, Barry, as we're all doing the kind of stripping bare tonight, I have to confess that first of all, as people know, I came across Jim, so to speak, via he'd criticised this other YouTuber called Brian Rose. People might have heard of him. He's a scam artist. And I came across him via another channel I follow called Gangster Times. And the first video I watched of Jim was when he was taking the piss out of you, like tis and tat. He was running up and down into a skip. I had no idea who the parents were. I just thought it was completely mental. And I watched it about like 15 times, just until I could watch it no more, just laughing, with no idea who the parents were. But I just thought that anyone who's made this guy bother to make this video must be quite interesting.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I thought, I fucking wind him up that he's gone out his way. Well, then he'd probably say the same about me,
Everybody, Simon's in from the old channel. Shout out to Simon. Right, but let's see what. Sorry, I'm muttering now like a fucking weirdo.
Is that Simon with the beard? He looks like Julian from the church. My God.
Barry, I swear to God, your episode of Gogglebox was on it. It totally killed the mood, but it was funny. Peter Boothroyd, you came across good. You know what? Let's do this. I don't know if you're probably busy, Barry, but everybody, now this is how this live. Let's make this live stream fucking great again. You're all capable of it on Friday. But why don't we all do this again if you're not busy? I'm just going to flick through some more comments. But, it's been a good one tonight. I really appreciate you all getting involved, There's that many comments, I can't get through them all, which is fucking unusual for this, because there's usually 3 fucking comments. I'm sat here like a prick. But tonight it's been great. We had Barry on, Martin Reddin pissed out in his fucking face. But
No, I'm sober now, Jim. I'm sober now.
I don't want you to be sober ever again. I want you to get a bad alcohol problem and come back with fucking scarves wrapped around your head and fucking potatoes in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, 3 months off 2 months off the sherry, and you come down, and I come on the bottle again. The relief as the jag farted off into the sunset, and I was waving goodbye.
Peter Boothroyd says on a slight tangent, Mr. H smashed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hand on heart, it was not. I never visited that Fireside. I didn't even know what it was. I knew it was on Westwood Park somewhere, but I'll be honest with you, if I would have gone down there, fuck you off, Jimmy, I would have done my own fucking video from the Fireside. I would never have smashed it. It wasn't me, that.
I tell you what, I know this for sure, and I've done a psychological analysis of a lot. I wasn't aware there was a separate channel. I've watched all those Fireside Thoughts videos have been coming up in my feed. I've watched a lot of them, and I said to Jim the other day, 100%, I've watched it. Mr. H did it. It was his way of an early sign of he wanted to get out. Jim was becoming overwhelming, oppressive. He knew that Jim was putting a cage around his greater ambitions. He knew that he could go on to better things, get more views, have more of a historical bent, and that he didn't want to hurt Jim's feelings. So he smashed it all up, and then Jim didn't really get the hint, and it carried on for a while. He did it, 100%.
Let me just say something.
I think in the early days, them Fireside Thoughts were good. They made some good videos, and they did some good topics.
Thank you, Simon.
I think once Mr. H got a bit more popular, you could see him going into his own thing, and I think that was just inevitable.
let me some. Even at the height of our hatred of each other, Barry, there's one thing I respected for you. I respected you for. Is he started arseholing and brown nosing you,
I
and
know,
you
yeah.
turned around and you said to him, you said, I can't I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember the actual video. You said, I can't stand the fucking sight of that man. He says, but I have more respect for him than you, because all you're doing now is just crawling round me to try and fucking latch on to my subscribers
Yeah.
and viewers. And I remember thinking at the time, fucking hell, fair play.
I genuinely meant that. I could see what was happening straight away. I knew exactly what he was up to straight away. He was just coming over to my channel. I mean, the thing what annoyed me about it, and I let him on for a few weeks to set him up for it. But when you two used to slag me off on the videos and stuff, I could take it from Jimmy, because Jimmy and I had history, and I'd actually met Jimmy in real life when I was a young lad. I knew Jimmy from years ago. I'd never met that fucking man from Adam. He didn't know me from a bar of soap, and I think it was like something you'd expect at school. Do you know what I mean? It's like, get over yourself, mate. And that's what really annoyed me when he started creeping round me after he'd stabbed you in the back and set his own channel up. And I could see it happening. And I thought, well, I'll lead him on a bit. I'll just fucking take piss out of him. And what I said on that particular video, I mean, it was a lot of years ago, but I would genuinely stick by it. At the time, and not now, I've always had a lot of respect for Jimmy, believe it or not. But at the time, I genuinely meant it, what I said to him. I couldn't stand Jimmy at the time. Well, I thought I couldn't. I was just obsessed with him. And I genuinely said something along the lines of, I'd rather sit down and have a chat with him rather than fucking, talk to a shithouse like you, like, you know what I mean? So off your fuck type of thing. But yeah, I genuinely meant it, and I'd stand by that now, what I said. Apart from, I don't hate you now.
No, I love you, Barry. Everything's cool, but I never really thought about the theory of, it's like a new angle on the JFK fucking grassy knoll thing, but I never thought of. But it all makes perfect sense, because, as well, he was the kind of character who would do something. Fucking Reddin. He was the kind of character who would do something meticulously. So the fact that he smashed it to smithereens, he smashed the fireplace to literal smithereens, and I didn't even think about this kind of thing. And
like you said, Jim, it was personal. It was personal.
For one, I didn't know where that location was, and two, if I was going to go around and do that, which I wouldn't have done anyway, I'd have sat down and done a little video, but I'd have been like a fucking rabbit in headlights. Are they coming? Where are they? Are they here? Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have sat down and smashed every single brick to smithereens. I wouldn't have had time for that. I'd have just fucking cracked a few and fucked off in case I got caught. Somebody's actually sat down and meticulously done that. You know what I mean? But no, it wasn't me.
As well, Barry. I forgot. I've fucking blanked out. No, yeah. As well, I thought he would have got him when we had this little back and forth recently. A complimentary back and forth. I thought he would have just made a video to either say no, or but he obviously he does think now he's above it all, and But
I bet he still watches everything you put on.
I know he will do. He
100%.
will, you know what I mean? Because end of the day, I know he does. I occasionally watch his stuff, and I find him, and this isn't bitter, I find him very smug, and this stupid fucking little wink he does at the end, like. And it's like he's no self-awareness. He never had any self-awareness.
What's that tune? What's that tune, Jim? What's that tune? I always forget what the tune is. That's it.
That's some fucking.
To be fair to him, some of the topics he does cover and some of the videos he does cover could be quite interesting, but he spends too much time on him rather than on the subject. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, kind of thing. But this is all I'm going to say. Most of his videos that have gone big viral, which they have done, they've never been anything to do with him. They've either been TV licensing, Fred Dibner. Everything is done with Fred Dibner. Bang! Everybody's all over. Even Mr. B's build. Barry, are you familiar with Mr. B's buildings?
I've watched one. When you put a parody on of him, I did watch one of it. Yeah, I watched one.
Backstory. He's like a tribute act to Mr. H. And he's not bless the lad, he's not a full shilling from Bolton.
No.
he originally came on as Mr. P's Pies. Now, obviously, he's influenced by Mr. H. And at the time, Mr. H fucking threw his toy into his pram like, the fucking hell, this man trying to didn't swear like, but said, who's this one copying me? He was going to all the same places as H went, but he did that to you. He started going to your places. If I remember.
I do believe so. Yeah, I do believe so.
To him. So, but Mr. B's buildings is like he's like Mr. H's mentally retarded younger brother. You know what I mean, kind of thing. But and you have that as well. But
well, that's somewhat harsh, Jim. That's somewhat harsh. Really.
It's harsh on Mr. H, not on Mr. B, I think. But
possibly.
Unfortunately, no. I mean, it's going off Mr. H for a minute. It's like, do you not feel, Jimmy, that these days now, everybody wants to try and be YouTube, TikTok famous for just pumping out content, and they've got no personality, a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? I think if you're going to do this sort of thing, you've got to have kind of a spark and a personality. And you know, you've always had one, like. And
thank you.
I must have something. I don't know what it is, but you know.
I always tell Jim he's full of charisma. He's full of lots of things, but he's got charisma. I would agree with you on. One of the things I do, I don't watch a lot of other sort of character live streams. In fact, I don't watch any of them. Jim, the only other live streams I watch are football channels. And what I've noticed is that they have become better the more they interact with the people who are in the chat and leave comments.
Yeah.
So now they've started to interact, they've got better, and then people interact with them more so. I mean, I put one on when Jim was down here and he couldn't really see the point of it because they were talking about football and stuff, and it was like two young lads. But it's good to, I think we all want to have sometimes we want to be challenged with something. I don't always want to hear somebody I totally agree with, but sometimes if we have something in common, like tonight we're talking about stuff we know about, same with the football team. You want to have some of your views reinforced, you know, like we played well tonight, the referee was a tosser, certain player played well, and you want to make a comment, and if you bother to make a comment, you want to have your viewpoint acknowledged, you know. I think it's everything. It is that little dopamine hit, sure, when the host of the show gives you a little love heart, you know, it does make a difference. And then you come back to them.
Do you think that's like a tribal thing, wanting to belong to like a football team or a clan or something like that? You know, it's just all getting together. And
because even with a football team, what you find is that each team has its own they have many fan channels, and you find the group that you like. You might not like one. So I follow one, which is two brothers. I fucking hate one of the brothers. The other one, they're just so up my street. I love them. You know, so you find your little group, even within a team, you find your tribe.
Yeah,
gents, I'm gonna call. It's nearly, we're knocking over 2 hours now.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Martin, it's been delightful to speak to you again. It's lovely to see you over the weekend. I'm going to do this Friday. You probably might be busy with your family and all that, but that's fine. Everybody in chat, thank you tonight for interacting. It's been great, like the old days. Mr. Tittler, you say, thank you very much for jumping on and having a nice chat with you. I wish you a pleasant night and a pleasant journey wherever you are at the moment, sir.
If I do see you on pre-spotted services, Martin, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. No hard feelings.
Absolutely.
I need to go to pre-spotted. But yeah,
may your God, whoever he is, go with you. Peace be amongst you.
All of you, subscribe, donate if you want, like the channel. Do whatever you want to. Good night, everybody. Good night, Barry. Good night, Martin. Yes, bye bye.